Hello, everyone. Hi. Good evening. Um, Welcome to another day of exploring what happens next. A series where we have conversations, 15 conversations, 15 days, and for 15 minutes. Um, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Shraddha Jadhav. I am based in Bombay, and I've been working with SNS Arts Development Consultancy as a project development consultant. Um, I'm very excited to invite and introduce today's guest. Um, she is also based in Mumbai. She's a visual artist, a visual jockey, filmmaker, photographer, and also the founder of the Wall Project. Uh, just give me a minute while I add her to the session. Please welcome Dhanya Pilo to join us all for the session today. Hi, Dhanya.
Hi. Hi.
Hi,
Am I
so
late?
excited to have you here.
Cool.
How
This
have
is my first Insta live, so I'm still figuring it out.
Oh, that's great. So excited. I'd like to straight away go into just understanding how, during this crisis, how have you been dealing with the kind of shows and the projects that you had planned for 2020, for 2021, and how is it all coming together at this point?
Yeah, so all of us actually thought 2020 was going to be a really good year, a
Mm-hmm.
year of change and a year of like a lot of new beginnings and things like that. So in some strange way, it has brought upon us like a new reality of maybe we need to change our lives, maybe we need to be a little bit more sensitive to nature and things around us and even ourselves and people around us.
True.
So, I mean, that is the most basic thing that comes out of it. And I think we all need to look at this time as an incubation time
Yeah.
where we, take care of ourselves, remember and relearn a lot of things about ourselves. And also, the funny thing is like we've all been brought up and we've all grown up and we've all lived with all these rules that have dictated our lives. And this is the time to start rethinking on how many of those rules were actually good for us or did they actually work for us and should we now look at redoing those rules and coming up with a new way of doing things, whether it's how we're living, working, interacting with people. uh,
Definitely.
so all those things are, we need to, this is an incubation time for us to all recover, rethink, especially city folks. Life is so hectic. So, we need to stop and think whether that one action or two actions or what we're doing in our daily life, is it worth it or not worth it? So it's
That's
really question time to, you know, yeah.
true. And with you working in the visual medium, right? Right from photography or as a filmmaker or even as working on the wall project, you worked with visual interactions and depend on that. So how do you think post-COVID the visual interaction will be like? How do you think that it's going to change for you? Or do you look at it as some like a new opportunity? How do you would you throw some light on that?
So that's a very cool question. So, with this entire lockdown around the world, one is there's so much content that's
Yeah.
become accessible, it's become free. So whether you want to learn something, whether you want to try something, whether you want to perform, whether you want to demonstrate something, it's all there at the same time. I don't know how many of you, I mean, Instagram live is like just going crazy and it's so enlightening to hear so many people, give their 10 minutes of gyan and you're just getting gyan from like people from a diverse section of the world. So for
Yeah.
me, I'm quite addicted to that. But at the same time, what's going on TikTok is just crazy. You know, there's a whole scenario going on there. So like when I started like working with the visual medium, there were not so many people holding a camera. So now the cameras come into everyone's homes,
True.
and everyone's become the subjects, and everyone's, you know, doing a lot of self portraits, self performances, self. So I mean, people are exploring the medium, which means that people like me who have been working professionally in this medium, we need to push the boundaries even more, and we need to see how else to, you know, bring about this kind of medium and the language that it kind of, you know, expresses. So I think a lot of people are, especially with effects and sound, and you know,
Hmm.
I'm amazed at like all kinds of people. You wouldn't imagine like doing like dancing, and you know, it's
True. It's
amazing.
so many
Yeah.
master classes coming on, and you just kind of getting so rather than just depending on going to a particular location, you're just getting it right in front of you. That's
Yeah,
true.
so like yoga classes, Tai Chi classes, there's like cooking classes, there's 5 o'clock. So basically 11 a.m. has become the new prime time,
Mm,
and 5 o'clock has become the new prime time.
definitely,
So
all the lights coming on. Yeah,
yeah, so and it's almost like you're channel surfing then, you know, like oh my God, who
true.
to watch? Yeah.
Definitely. And because of that, I think the idea of space has also changed. I remember seeing one of your videos, and you mentioned, one of the futures of VJing is alternate spaces, open spaces, and you look at that as the main aspect. How do you think, spaces are going to change now, or how do you think audience interaction is going to change in that
So
way?
if, imagine even right now, as people are, we're all in lockdown. What's happening is we're either performing for our families in, you know, whatever ways, in good ways and in bad ways.
Yeah.
The proximity kind of brought a lot of things in behavior, good and bad. But at the same time, we're also peeping from our windows, checking what's the neighbor doing, or what plants are they growing. Oh, I can see their TV from here. What are they watching? So that is that. Then gardens become, you know, within a society, gardens become like spaces like, oh, who's taking their dog for a walk, or staircases become like exercise spots, terraces. People like are exercising and, you know, doing things on terraces. So it's like now people are valuing public space. They're valuing any kind of space, you know, and they're trying to reuse. And there's also a lot of spring cleaning happening. So that's great, you know, like go through all your old stuff, go through your memories, watch your old videos, or, you know, just old books, get them
Right.
out, and, you know, maybe your school stuff or old stuff, or and really repurpose things. So a lot of people are also trying upcycling, and a lot of people doing painting. So I'm quite happy, to see.
Lots of tutorials on painting also, which is making people like get onto their dream of painting.
Yeah,
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 true.
yeah. But at the same time, I see a lot of people connecting with old friends or old relatives, that we never had the time to do that before. So I think that's great. So it's also bringing people together. I think there's some realization like, what's really life, and how do
Hmm.
we want to live further. So it's given time to think, but at the same time, we have to understand, like even when we eat at home, how much plastic are we really using?
Yeah.
There are different ways to even if we separate our garbage, it's not getting recycled. So I might think like, oh, I'm a very good person, and I've separated the
True.
garbage, but end of the day, I can see where the garbage is going, and it's just all getting dumped in the same truck. So,
Hmm.
everyone needs to be composting at home. You can grow a lot of things, or your own vegetable piece. Oh, one thing I wanted to share was, so now we're buying fruits and veggies, right? So if we take any fruit or veggie which is slightly old and just put it in your plant, just leave it on top, and you can see how long it takes to biodegrade. And you will be shocked. Like I think I kept an apple and an orange, and they just didn't biodegrade for like a month and a half, 2 months. So that's how another way to kind of realize how much preservatives or GMO seeds are, in the food that we're buying daily. So these are simple experiments everyone can do at home and just see if your food is not biodegrading in the next couple of days, you shouldn't be eating that. No, no. So I think tools like that really will change the way you look at life. And
Are there certain projects that you're working on right now in this time, maybe in your working from home, and how are you managing that? Or what tools are helping you manage that?
sorry,
What
what
tools are
tools?
manage that?
So I am basically just catching up on everything I wanted to do and didn't have the time for. I'm compiling a book of short stories with some friends. So everyone gets to write one chapter.
Nice.
So that's coming up quite excitingly. Otherwise, I'm just too much screen time is happening, and yeah, I need to I think I've OD'd on it, and I think the next 1 week is just going to be switching off and
True.
just reading and keeping it
Yeah.
simple. Yeah.
True.
But at the same time, keeping an awareness of what is really happening around us. How's the environment reacting? How there's a lot of it's summer, so a lot of animals are going through difficult times also, along with all the people with no shelter and things like that. So one has to look at everyone parallelly because we all coexist. And if there are things we can do, then we should do it. Or don't crib and don't bitch about it. Just
Yeah.
go and do what you can.
Right. I'd like to ask you one final question about maybe like a message that you have for all the artists, the filmmakers and photographers listening at this point.
Wow. I mean, there's so many things like just do stuff, yeah. And the more real you keep it, the more true to yourself, you will realize like your craft is more original, better. It resonates more, and it always will have a larger audience. Remember, digital technology is one, but life is also a technology. Plants are also a technology. You need to keep all of that in mind, and that's if you don't live for yourself and for people around you, uh, then the environment is going to respond and not be very happy, and it's going to reflect that. So um, you have to remember that you're a part of this ecosystem, whether you're a filmmaker, artist, banker, it doesn't matter. We are all part of this together,
And we have
and
to kind of look at it by taking all of these elements into consideration. It can't be very different from what we do, basically, the work
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like, I mean, okay, maybe it's a good time to parallelly look at how other people kind of live and work and what are their processes. So this is a good time to look at cross-disciplinary actions and activities. Why do you have to be one track or in one particular? Unless you have a holistic view of things, you're not able to make good decisions or share good thoughts because you just come from a very myopic kind of point of view.
True. Great. So, on that lovely note, I'd like to wrap up today's session. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Dhanya. This was really lovely to have you on our What Happens Next series. And thank you, everyone out there, all the audience, for supporting and joining us for every session and being a part of it. We are coming up with more of these conversations every day, and we'll keep you updated. I'd also like you to urge to also look up Dhanya's work on her website and her Facebook page, and know more about what she does. So thank you again. Thanks,
yeah.
Dhanya.
Stay safe. Stay safe. Bye. Thank
You
you.
too. Bye.